Have you ever lost your car in the parking lot? You were so excited to get into the store, wherever you were so excited to get into the store, you come back out and you can't find your car. How many of us have this? There are probably so many of us that have that story. You're like, oh my goodness, where did I park? I could have sworn I was right here. What did I get told? Like, where is my car? Your heart starts racing, your anxiety levels raise. You have this sinking or sunken feeling in your pit of your stomach. You're like, oh my goodness, where's my car? And panic is about to set in. I know all of us have been there. And I can truly say that I have definitely been there. But then you take a minute, you pull out the remote, you hit the button or the panic button, and you hear the alarm go off on your car. And then you realize like the car is like 5 rows over. Right. That feeling. It's interesting because I use that analogy because I had that feeling, that very same feeling, and deciding to pivot a little bit on my channel, which is weird. Like I had this, I don't know, I was going through this panic mode and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was starting down one avenue and now I'm trying to change. And my audience, they're going to be like, well, what in the devil is she talking about today? And so that's what I want to talk about today. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Tammy of Make It a Double. Thank you so much. If you are new to the channel or if you're returning to this channel, tuning in to me and all my musings. And so one of the things that I really wanted to talk about today is how to artfully or unartfully, I'm not quite sure, make the pivot early. Whether that's in your career, whether that's something that's in your life, we all make decisions initially. And sometimes we're going off of sheer emotion. Sometimes there could be a little bit of intellect that's also going into it. But we may be doing things from our head, our heart, and a little bit of habit. And when I think about that, sometimes I may jump in head first into something because I just want to go, right? And I know you may have the same kind of feeling. Like you're like, look, I just want to get started. I just want to go, right? And that's good for like double dutch. Sometimes it's not good for a YouTube channel, or maybe it is. I don't know. It's all a learning thing anyway. But I have just kind of thought about my channel and the things that I've been talking about. And I hope that they've been really interesting topics. But I also want to get a little bit more focus around what my channel is actually about. And for those of you that don't quite know my story, I am a two-time I'll call it a recovering business owner. And I love talking all things entrepreneurship, freelance, solopreneur, all of the things that allow us flexibility and freedom in our lives. And in the spirit of that, I want to peel back some additional layers about me and how I've been able to do that. So for my career and for the last, 25 years or so, I have been a proposal and grant writer. That is kind of my skill set by trade. And it's very niche. There's not many of us, and for those of you who are out there or who are aspiring, hey, there's not many of us out there. We have our small little corner of the world and of the universe. And I just want to say hello to all of those fellow grant writers and fellow proposal writers and people that are in and around the public sector field. I want to say hello to all of you and welcome to my channel. How I got started, explaining in one of my other videos, I got started over 25 years ago doing proposals, refining, doing a lot of proposals in the commercial market, then began doing education, so nonprofit. And then I relocated to the DC area. And of course, for those of you that are in the DC area, that the world is revolved around government contracting. That's how I got my start really and officially in kind of public sector contracting. But that's where my career has kind of led me. And so again, I've been just in this very niche market but I love it. Like it allows me to use two parts of my brain. I get to use the creative side and I also get to use the analytical side. And that's the part that I love the most is because it's such a unique skill set. Another thing about it is you get to learn about all areas and aspects of business that you may not have otherwise had the opportunity to learn. That's another reason why I really enjoy that kind of work. And while I've continued to lean in on that kind of work, done a lot of thought leadership pieces in that line of work as well. And what I would love to do here on my YouTube channel is to explore that a little bit more. So for those of you that are interested in that work, whether you are interested in learning how to do this work and create a sustainable lifestyle for yourself, or if you're using it as a business and want to build a business out of it, or if you are a small business, solopreneur, entrepreneur that is looking to get into public sector contracting and win some contracts. And so I think the beautiful thing about the work that I do is I think I'm covering all those assets. And I think that is why I had so much anxiety on how I was going to pivot my channel, because I'm trying to combine both kind of freelancing and entrepreneurship and building your skill set, turning that into a business, right? But then also helping other businesses. And I know it's weird. It's weird. It's strange. It's probably not like any other YouTube channel. And so as you can see, that's why I was having a little bit of consternation around, okay, how do I bring all these interests, all of this together in a way that's cohesive and where people can learn? And I'm just here to share. Like, I am just really here to share. I'm very passionate about this work, and I would love the opportunity to be able to share that with, of course, all of you. So I think about all of the interests that you may have in your life, right? A lot of the times people want us to niche down into one thing and then kind of lean in on that one thing, especially when it comes to YouTube. And, from what I've understood about the algorithm and those kinds of things is you need to be very specific about what you're talking about, right? So that the algorithm can find you and find your content and pump it out to the right people, right? But what about those of us who have multiple interests, who have multiple layers to us and our personalities and how we like to connect with people? Where is that community? I hope you're out there. Because I want to connect with you and I hope you want to connect with me as well. I love hearing about people's multifaceted journeys because as humans, we are all multifaceted. We are not one-dimensional. Like, there are so many other things about me in terms of my interests and what I'm passionate about and things that I like to share with others and inspire others. And I know that there have got to be other people out there that have the same kinds of varied interests as myself. And so I say, lean into that, right? Don't allow yourself to be pigeonholed in just one thing. And we're going to make the algorithm work for us. So we're going to turn this whole thing on its head and we're going to make the algorithm begin to work for us. And that is have it push out information to different people with different interests, right? And so I think if there are more of us that join that bandwagon of having multiple layered interests and putting that on YouTube, it will attract the very same kinds of people, community vibe. Because I've actually noticed there's one young lady that's out on YouTube and I cannot think of her name right now, but I was watching her video and she is very multi-layered, and she's got a really good tribe and a following of people who love the varied interests that she has. I'm leaning into that in this era of 2025. And I hope that you do the same thing. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means that I will continue to talk to you about freelancing, entrepreneurship, how to get clients, like the broad information around how do you get clients, but maybe I'll apply it to my own self, right? And how I got my first proposal writing client. or how I won my first public sector contract, right? So it'll still have the substance and the information and the epiphanies and the lessons that I've learned and being able to lean into these areas, right? But I'll be sharing it from my perspective. And so again, I might be talking about freelance. I might be talking about entrepreneurship. I might be talking about proposal writing. I might be talking about, public sector contracting, but I'm doing all of that in hopes to convey to you that they all overlap in some way. And it's me sharing my experience on how you can relate and you can apply kind of the same types of tactics and moves so that you can get the kind of financial flexibility and freedom that you so choose, right? And that's really at the end of the day and at the core of it, I think that's ultimately what I want to share, is because I've been able to do all of these things and still be able to keep my flexibility, still be able to travel, still be able to work remote, still be able to engage with people around the world. So I absolutely love this. And as you can see, like I said, it's multi-layered. There's a multi-layered approach to doing this. And I hope that I'm inspiring others to be able to do the same. So I hope I haven't scared you from my channel. I hope that you continue to lean in and be a part of the community. Leave me some comments. Ask me some questions. I love answering questions. I love engaging on my comments. If you look at any of my videos, I have responded to every single comment. Even if they are not very helpful comments, I still respond to them anyway because I am just appreciative of people stopping by my channel. So that's really all I wanted to talk to you today about. And I hope, again, that you continue to be inspired by the things that I'm doing. I definitely want to be inspired by the things that you're doing. And like I've said, we only have one life. We got one extraordinary life. And so why not make it a double?